In the world of royalty, change rarely happens suddenly. It arrives quietly, almost imperceptibly at first, fewer appearances, softer headlines, subtle shifts in protocol that only the most attentive observers notice. And now, as the fallout surrounding Prince Andrew continues to reshape public perception of the royal family, attention has turned toward two figures who once stood comfortably within the royal spotlight, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie. For years, they occupied a unique space within the monarchy, visible enough to be recognized worldwide, yet distant enough from the core line of succession to live semi-private lives. But recent events have placed them in an increasingly delicate position, raising questions about whether their royal presence is slowly, deliberately fading. Beatrice and Eugenie grew up balancing two identities. On one hand, they were granddaughters of Queen Elizabeth II, raised amid tradition, ceremony, and public expectation. On the other, they were not senior working royals, meaning their roles were never fully defined. Unlike Prince William or Prince Harry, their futures were not mapped out by constitutional duty. Instead, they carved paths that blended royal heritage with modern careers, friendships, and personal independence. For years, this flexibility worked in their favor. They could attend royal events without bearing the full weight of royal responsibility. Yet the stability of that arrangement depended heavily on public perception, and perception can change quickly when controversy enters the picture. As scrutiny intensified around Prince Andrew, the ripple effects extended far beyond him alone. Royal commentators began noting how institutions often respond to crises not through dramatic announcements but through gradual repositioning. Invitations shift, visibility decreases, public engagements become selective, and in recent months, observers have noticed that Beatrice and Eugenie appear less frequently in prominent royal contexts, sparking speculation that a quiet transition may already be underway. The challenge facing the sisters is deeply personal as much as it is public. They are daughters first, royal figures second. Navigating loyalty to family while maintaining credibility within an institution built on public trust creates an almost impossible balancing act. Every appearance risks interpretation. Every absence invites questions. Even silence becomes a statement analyzed by commentators and audiences alike. Historically, the monarchy has relied on a principle sometimes described as strategic distance. When controversy threatens the broader institution, individuals connected to the situation gradually step away from central visibility, allowing the monarchy itself to preserve continuity. It is not necessarily punishment, but preservation, a recalibration meant to protect the larger symbol of stability the royal family represents. For Beatrice and Eugenie, this recalibration may mean redefining what royal life looks like moving forward. Already, both have established careers outside traditional royal duties. Princess Beatrice has worked within business and technology sectors, while Princess Eugenie has built a respected role in the art world. These professional identities provide alternatives rarely available to senior royals bound by constitutional expectations. Ironically, the independence once seen as a limitation may now become their greatest advantage. Public sympathy toward the sisters has also played a complex role in shaping discussion. Many observers view them as collateral figures, individuals navigating consequences they did not create. Unlike political figures who choose public scrutiny, they were born into circumstances beyond their control. This perception has softened criticism but has not eliminated scrutiny. The modern media landscape rarely distinguishes between personal and institutional association. Social media, in particular, has amplified every development. Photos from private outings, charity events, or family gatherings are analyzed for meaning. A missed appearance at a royal ceremony becomes headline speculation. A brief public appearance sparks debates about whether they are returning to prominence or simply maintaining tradition. The constant interpretation highlights how royal identity today exists under continuous observation. Another factor influencing their future is the evolving structure of the monarchy itself. King Charles has long supported the idea of a streamlined royal family, fewer working royals, clearer responsibilities, and a more focused public image. Under such a model, peripheral roles naturally diminish over time. Even without controversy, Beatrice and Eugenie's positions might have gradually shifted toward private life. Current circumstances may simply be accelerating an already inevitable transition. Yet stepping back from royal visibility does not necessarily mean disappearing. Royal history is filled with figures who maintained influence through charity work, professional achievements, and carefully chosen appearances outside official duty. A quieter presence can still carry significance, especially when public curiosity remains strong. Friends and royal insiders have often described both sisters as deeply loyal and protective of family bonds. That loyalty now intersects with public expectation in complicated ways. Supporting their father privately while maintaining public neutrality requires careful navigation, a balance between compassion and responsibility that few people ever experience on a global stage. Media coverage has increasingly framed their situation as symbolic of a broader generational shift. Younger royals face a world dramatically different from that of previous decades. Transparency, instant communication, and global scrutiny mean that reputation evolves faster than ever. Where once royal controversies faded slowly, today they unfold continuously online, shaping narratives in real time. For Beatrice and Eugenie, this environment leaves little room for ambiguity. Any attempt to redefine their roles must be subtle yet decisive. Too visible, and they risk renewed association with controversy. Too absent, and speculation about exile or exclusion intensifies. The path forward lies somewhere between presence and distance, maintaining dignity without inviting distraction. Public reaction reflects this tension. Some commentators argue that stepping back is necessary to protect the monarchy's credibility. Others believe distancing the sisters would be unfair, emphasizing that they have built reputations independent of their father's actions. This divide illustrates a larger debate about collective responsibility within institutions tied by family relationships. Meanwhile, their personal lives continue evolving beyond royal headlines. Both sisters are now mothers, entering stages of life defined less by ceremonial duty and more by family priorities. Parenthood often reshapes public roles even for senior royals, and for Beatrice and Eugenie, it may naturally encourage a quieter lifestyle away from constant media attention. Observers have also noted a subtle change in tone when the sisters do appear publicly. Engagements feel more focused on charitable causes and personal passions rather than formal royal representation. This shift suggests an emerging identity less centered on royal status and more on individual purpose. Still, the emotional dimension cannot be ignored. Watching one's public identity transform due to circumstances outside personal control is a uniquely difficult experience. Royal life, often portrayed as glamorous, carries emotional costs rarely visible to the public. The sisters must reconcile personal loyalty, public perception, and institutional expectations simultaneously, all under relentless scrutiny. As months pass, the narrative surrounding their future continues to evolve. Some analysts predict a long-term transition into private citizenship with occasional ceremonial appearances. Others believe they will maintain a soft royal presence, acting as supportive but unofficial ambassadors for charitable work. The uncertainty itself has become part of the story. What remains clear is that royal relevance today depends less on titles and more on trust. Public connection determines visibility, and maintaining that connection requires careful adaptation. Beatrice and Eugenie now stand at a crossroads where every decision contributes to how history will remember their roles within a changing monarchy. The phrase, "fade from royal life," may ultimately prove misleading. Fading does not necessarily mean vanishing, it can mean transformation. Moving from the center of institutional duty to the margins of public life may allow them greater freedom, privacy, and authenticity, qualities increasingly valued by modern audiences. In many ways, their journey reflects the monarchy's broader evolution. The institution is learning to survive not through permanence but through adaptation. Roles once defined by birth alone are now shaped by relevance, responsibility, and public confidence. Whether by design or circumstance, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie appear to be entering a new chapter, one less defined by royal expectation and more by personal choice. The transition may unfold quietly, without formal announcements or dramatic farewells, marked instead by gradual absence and carefully chosen appearances. And perhaps that quietness is precisely the point. Royal history often remembers not the loud exits, but the subtle shifts, the moments when figures step gently out of the spotlight, allowing the institution to move forward while preserving dignity on all sides. As the monarchy continues navigating one of its most scrutinized periods in modern history, the sisters' future remains unwritten. Yet one possibility grows increasingly clear. Their story may no longer be about royal prominence, but about resilience, adapting to circumstances, protecting family bonds, and redefining identity beyond the expectations of a title. In the end, the question may not be whether Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie fade from royal life, but how they reshape it for themselves, choosing a quieter path that reflects both loyalty to their past and independence for their future.